It's time now once again for Big Woods Adventures TV, proudly sponsored by Kittery Trading Post, outfitters with style since 1938, with your hosts, Hal Blood, Chris Dalti, and Sam and Ruth McEwen.
Hi everyone, I'm Chris Dalti and welcome to Big Woods Adventures TV. I decided to do something a little bit different this week and take you on a smallmouth fishing trip in July when it's the dog days of summer, the fish are deep and it's really hard to find them. You know, every one of us knows someone that consistently, year after year, kills big bucks or all season long catches big fish. I was always curious on how that person did it. And I happen to have a family friend, a longtime family friend, that catches big fish all season long. So I decided to give him a call and ask him to share with you some of the techniques and tricks that he uses to take those big fish year after year. So I'd like to introduce you to him. His name is Tom Gerton, and I'd like to welcome you to the show, Tom.
Nice to see you again, Chris. Thanks for having me on the show.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it.
So Tom, how do you catch those big fish year after year?
Well, it gets easy once you've done it for a while, but you have to take a big body of water like Quabbin, and let's talk about big bodies of water because I think that's what this show is really about, is big bodies of water. So
Quabbin's 18 miles long, 25,000 acres.
Big body of water. So you really have to take a small area and work that small area until you know what you're doing and familiar with the whole body of water. I've been fishing there for 18 years, so it's a little bit different for me than someone just coming there for the first few times. The key is electronics in the summertime. You have to have electronics. If you go out there without electronics, you are not going to catch fish on a consistent basis. You will once in a while fall into some fish, but to stay on them consistently, you have to be on your electronics.
That's fish right there. See if that fish follows you now. Taking his merry sweet time, but he's going down. Don't move it too much.
Oh.
You got him. You got him. Don't lose him, Chris.
Nice.
You don't want to jump today.
The key is electronics in the summertime. You have to have electronics. If you go out there without electronics, you are not going to catch fish on a consistent basis. You will once in a while fall into some fish, but to stay on them consistently, you have to be on your electronics. So that's the whole key, is the electronics. Other than that, you have to know what the fish like for depth as far as comfort range. I found that in the summertime, if you're fishing 25 to 40, 50 feet of water, the fish should be in there somewhere. But that's a lot of water still. So now you have to look at your maps, your Navionics chips, and narrow that down even more. But the key is the electronics.
What I asked him to do is share with me, as if I was a beginner, on how to go about starting off. And the first thing you did was pull out a topographical map.
Yep.
And we studied some of the land features.
Right.
And I have to tell you, I felt like I was deer hunting.
Yeah.
I was looking for saddles, which don't, you know, they're humps or and things of that nature. And it really correlates a lot to breaking how we break down the big woods. You break down the big water just the way you break down the big woods.
That's true. Exactly the same thing. It is exactly the same thing.
Yep.
The fish will be in 10% of the water, and they need three things basically. They need the comfort, they need protection, and they need food.
Right.
So if they're comfortable at that water, we'll talk about fishing now. If they're comfortable at a certain depth range, if you find that depth range, now you've narrowed it down some.
Right.
Now you've got more to narrow down. So now you start looking for weed beds, you start looking for bait fish,
Yep.
and those two things, the temperature of the water and the bait fish and the weeds, well, those three things together become a key factor that you look for with your
It's a formula.
electronics.
It's like a formula.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you do that, you are narrowing down to a point where you should catch some fish.
Yeah. Let's talk about the electronics for a minute, because I know that a lot of people buy electronics, and we're not suggesting that you go out and buy new electronics. What we're suggesting is that you maximize the potential of your electronics. And the way to do that is change your settings.
Right.
Let's go, and we're going to show you in studio some of the things that we think are important, right?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, let's do it.
Big Woods Box. Learn the secrets of tracking and stalking whitetails.
So Tom, one of the most important things I took away from this fishing trip that we went on last summer was how important the electronics are. Everything looks the same out there, but there's a whole world to expose down there.
Right.
You showed it to me, but I hadn't had a clue on really how to change the settings to maximize the potential of the unit. So can you share with the audience for a few minutes some of the different settings and what your how you change the nuances of them?
Sure. This is a Lowrance HDS, so you really have to go by the type of graph that you have as far as company-wise, but I've always used Lowrance, and I like Lowrance. And this is their newest version, the HDS. They make a 5, a 7, an 8, and a 10.
Wow.
So this is the smallest screen that you can get, and that's what I was using when we were fishing. So you don't have to spend a lot of money to get the features. The features of the 5 are the same as the 8 and the 10, except the screen.
Yeah, screen size.
Screen size.
Okay.
So the most important things you want to adjust on any of these, especially in the sonar part of it, is your sensitivity, your color line, the ping speed, and the chart speed. And there's something else I'm going to show when we get up closer to the screen. It's called amplitude. And a lot of people don't even know what the amplitude is, but it basically is the signals that you're seeing on this outside of the screen. It's almost like a flasher of the old days.
Oh, really?
Where it's sending a signal to the bottom and back, and that's like in real time.
Yeah.
What you're seeing beyond that is after what happened.
Okay.
This is the very first thing that happens, and this is like something that happened seconds ago.
Incredibly important.
Depending on how fast the screen is moving.
Right. Scroll speed.
The scroll speed.
Okay.
Now the ping speed is how fast that signal is sent from the unit through the transducer to the bottom. So I like the ping speed as high as it'll go. So it's sending more signals back and forth. Whether you'd see that much difference between a 50% ping speed, 75 or 100, I don't really know. But from what I've been told by other people and from what I've seen, I usually run the ping speed as high as it'll go, which is the 100%. These are the things we need to show the people.
Okay. All right. Well, so we're going to get specific, and we're going to change all the settings on here so that they can actually see it.
Another thing too is people have to understand that they can put this in simulator.
Yeah, which that's what this is.
We
right
are
now.
in now. We are in simulation mode. You cannot do anything to this graph as we're talking to mess you up fishing later. There's also a button on here that will bring everything back to factory settings.
Yeah.
Nice fish.
So you saw it on the screen.
No, I actually didn't see this when I was pitching out.
Yeah.
About 3.5 pounder.
Nice.
I don't know if we should put him in the live because this fish are really hate to spook him. All right.
First fish of the day.
All right, Chris. You're going to be you're set up perfect with this. All right, we're getting Chris set up with a drop shot. And because we're fishing deep, we're fishing in about 30-35 feet of water, I use a small Spro swivel. It's a 30-pound weight rated swivel. It's I believe it's the smallest one that Spro makes. And a #1 drop shot hook. And the weight is probably 18 inches below. All right, so we have them all set up here. And I told him that what we're going to do is I'm working this area and I'm going to watch the screen, and if I see a fish I'll tell him, but in the meantime he's just going to grab the weight with his hand. So he's going to be basically holding the rod in this hand, he's going to flip his bail, he's going to grab the weight, and he's going to just pitch it. You don't want to try casting it, you get all messed up, so you just do a short pitch. Maybe throw it out 30 feet from the boat, 40 feet from the boat.
Yeah.
Flip the bail with your hand. Don't ever flip the bail with the reel like that. Always flip your bail with your hand. You get a lot of line loops when you flip the bail with the handle. You got to get used to just letting your line flip the bail. That way it's always taut against the spool. He's going to let the line hit bottom, and then he's just going to work it back like if he was fishing a worm. Basically just fishing a worm on the bottom with a
Bump in the bottom?
with a bullet weight.
Yep.
You're basically just moving it. If you feel any kind of resistance at all, just pop it up, kind of snap it up.
Yeah.
If I see a fish on the bottom, we're going to drop it right off the bottom, right off the side of the boat.
Because
Try
it's
to get
inside that
particular
cone of where the
exactly.
sonar's going.
So the fish will be right under us at times. We want to just drop it right on their head.
That's fish right there. See if that fish followed you down. He's taking his merry sweet time, but he's going down. Don't move it too much.
Oh.
You got him. You got him. Don't lose him, Chris.
Nice.
You don't want to jump today. Hey, Chris is in the boat.
In the boat.
About the same side the one I got. So it's the ones he was getting.
Yeah.
What we're doing is we're working, this is deeper water right in here, and it got this little bit of a gully right here of deep water, and then it comes into like 30 feet. So we're in 35 in that gully, which is normally has 40, but the water's dropped. So I'm just going to turn the boat, and I'm going to stay right on the edge of that break where we'll be in, let's say, 32 feet. Chris just got both of those fish on in the 32-foot range, so I'm going to try to stay in that range. But just to show you how you have these little fingers, so I can zoom out so you can see more of the area. There's 50 feet of water right here and 60 feet of water right there. And we're in this area of 30 feet, right in this light blue section. There's 60 feet right here, 50 feet right here, 40 feet. That's good location for smallies in the summertime. And our marker is right over there in about 32 feet of water, where Chris just caught the first fish we caught hitting this particular area. But we have grass. This is called sand grass. This is what we're looking to find on the bottom. This is what the bait will be in. It's very stringy, light sand grass. But the perch and smelt really like to get into that stuff.
So when it's going down, we try to make sure we can watch the line, so in case the fish hits on the way down, we have a chance of doing it.
Yeah, boy, Chris.
Other one on. These are looking up. Just gotta find. Oh, this one's pulling good, Tommy.
Yep.
Woohoo!
Have your fun with them. I'll be your net man.
Good fish. Let it tire itself out a little bit in the water.
Yeah.
Much better than this.
We're using 6-pound test line, so you have to. You got to play with them a little bit.
You just don't want to reel them in. This is a better fish.
Not only 6-pound test, it's also a very small hook.
Right.
It's a number 1 hook, which is pretty small.
Yeah. But this one doesn't want to show its face.
Usually a better fish when they're doing that.
I can start to see it right here. See the belly. Oh, that's a better fish right there.
Yeah, it's a good fish. Good fish. Chris told me his best smallmouth was just about 2.5 pounds until he came out with me. So we're already broke his.
Huh? I think I broke my personal best, huh, Tommy? Even from this morning.
We got something to show the people too inside this fish.
Yep.
Look inside his mouth. You can see there's a crayfish in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, do it again. Don't walk me through it.
Right inside his mouth, right in the center of the mouth. You can see a little weed, but there's a crayfish right there. I don't know if I can grab a little bit of it to show you folks, but this guy has been feeding on crayfish out here in the rock. Hey, yeah, you like that?
That's
eh?
cool.
Got the whole crayfish. He's actually got another one in there. So this guy has been bottom feeding.
Let me hold that.
Hey folks, Lee and Lorenda here from Big Woods Bucks. We would like to invite you to join us at Kittery Trading Post on March 23rd for their annual Turkey and Fishing Fest.
Get 10% off select turkey loads, and they're having great sales on all their shotguns. It's just a really great time to stock up on any turkey hunting and fishing needs.
Also, Lorenda and I will be giving a turkey hunting seminar covering tips and tactics that we use to consistently kill those big long beards.
If you miss us at Kittery, you can catch us at the State of Maine Sportsman Show in Augusta, Maine on March 28th, 29th, and 30th.
Join us, won't you? Spring is here.
Okay, you followed you down. Don't move it too much like that when you first drop it. Oh boy. Good job.
Look at him go down. Look at him go down. Can't beat that.
Sometimes a crankbait will draw him in. Get that other bait down in there. You know when you're ready for the next one. They got a lot of sores on them.
I think he's ready. They have such beautiful colors, huh? God.
In the spring, they're even more because they're on the
I
sand.
think you got a fish.
I do, yeah.
Can you believe it?
Go ahead,
Oh.
take this rod.
Coming up, Marcus. Oh, I lost him. I had to reel down.
No, we didn't have them hooked.
I didn't set the hook good enough. That is a riot. He tried to take one off. That fish wanted that bait so bad he took it. Nobody even had the rod in their hand. We didn't get the hook set correctly, and I could tell he was coming up. He was coming up. I was trying to reel as fast as I could, but you can't catch up to him, huh?
But the boat's moving, so the worm is moving some, even though you don't have it in your hand, and it's all it takes.
So.
Sometimes that's what you need to do, is not move it so much.
Right.
Everybody has a tendency of moving a drop shot too much.
Yeah, I think I did that a little bit. You told me to stop it. And,
right. Everybody thinks that they have to move it a lot, but if you sit this down in the water,
Yep.
it doesn't take a lot of movement to make it move.
No, it's true. Well, Tom, I'd like to thank you so much for taking me on such a awesome smallmouth adventure. I had an awesome time.
We did have a good time together.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it too.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah, we caught some fish, we had some laughs, and that's what it's all about with me.
Yeah, and I thank you for sharing with me and with the viewers all that knowledge. I'm sure it's going to help me with consistently catching some more big fish or fish all season long.
I'm sure it will.
And I hope it helps you catch the fish of a lifetime. I want to take a second to thank the cameraman. It's my buddy Marcus. A lot of you know him from the deer DVD that we have out. He's killed a lot of beautiful bucks with us, but he's also a hardcore fisherman, and he did an awesome job. Tom's been nice enough to offer. We're going to run his email on the bottom of the screen, and if you have any questions and you want to talk to him via email, appreciate that.
Sure, you can email me anytime, information, fishing. Just give me a shout on the email, and I'll get back with you.
Cool. So I'd like to thank you for watching this week's episode of Big Woods Adventures TV, and as we always say here on Big Woods Adventures, God bless. Good luck on the trail, and thanks for watching.
Take care.